Hey everyone, glad you're here, and today we have a topic that's often discussed in the boxing community. That is, does boxing have too many belts? And the short answer is yes. There's no other way to put it. There's way too many belts, and at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if my neighbor has a WBA belt. We know there's four main belts. There's the WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO. There's other belts like the IBO and others, but those don't count. There's also the ring belt and the lineal champion, but we'll be talking about those in another video. These four are the most important belts, and if you want to become undisputed champion, you are going to need to have all these belts. Now, that's a lot of belts, right? Yes, but to the sanctioning bodies of the belts, it's not enough. The WBA has the biggest problem with this, where we have the super belt, which is the main belt, then the regular belt, then the gold belt, then the interim belt, and probably way more. Then we got the WBC. We have the main belt, then the interim belt, and the diamond belt. But they also have the franchise belt, which has no point to exist. It basically makes you a champion but have no mandatories. Isn't the point of a champion to have mandatories and defend the title? But let's just move on. Then there's the WBO, who has the main belt and the interim belt and other small belts. Next we have the IBF, who keeps it basic with one main belt. That's it. Alright, enough of that. Let's talk why there's too many belts and how we can try and fix it. We have too many champions and it's confusing. When you ask someone who's the champion in a weight division, there could be 1 to 4 champions. That makes things more confusing. Let's also talk about how some of these sanctioning bodies are pretty shady. We have the WBC, who has a history of this. One of the biggest right now is the Dillian Whyte situation, where Whyte has been mandatory for over 300 days. Or the Roy Jones situation, where the WBC gave him the title back without fighting for it. There's also the Chavez Jr. and Sergio Martinez situation, where they stripped Martinez of the belt and then gave the title to Chavez Jr., and there's more shady practices from them. Then we have the WBA, and let's be real, they are the biggest joke in boxing. They give everyone belts and their rankings are terrible. Let's not also forget that they favor PBC fighters a lot, as we see in their rankings, and letting them keep titles for a long time without defending them, and plenty more. Then we got the WBO, the newest major title. I say their biggest problem is that they favor Bob Arum and Frank Warren fighters a lot. The WBO always seems to listen to Bob's orders and wants to keep their belt with Bob. Then we have the IBF, who is not all that bad. Now, these are a couple of problems these sanctioning bodies have, and now the big question is, can they be fixed? They possibly could, but it will take a lot of work and time to do so. Something they could do is have more unifications, because let's be real here, there isn't going to be one belt per weight class anymore. So unifications could help to have more undisputed champions at every weight class. Another thing they could do is have one main belt and the interim belt, and that's it. We don't need no regular gold, diamond, or franchise belts. Lastly, something else that would help is have fighters fight their mandatories when they are ordered. So basically, all the belts should follow how the IBF handles their mandatories. Enforce them. And if the champion doesn't want to fight, then strip them of the belt. If you guys have any other thoughts, say them in the comments down below. Hopefully, as time passes on, these sanctioning bodies will get better, but we will have to wait and see. Sometimes I wish it could be the 50s again, where we had one champion per weight class. Those were the days, but oh well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.